Shall I
Okay, so
start or wait for some minutes?
are we, do we have everybody here?
I assume it would be slower, so we'll let people trickle in through the time. They might be in other meetings during the evening, so we can start.
Okay. All right. Well, let me do the intro and then we'll start. So we're just gonna go ahead and just go and then send them the recording. Is that the deal?
Yeah, it's recording now.
Okay. Okay. So hey everybody, thank you for coming to day 5. We're so excited to have you here and so excited to have you guys participating in the hackathon. It's very exciting to see all the ideas come through and all the teams work through every piece of the hackathon. And so today we're going to have 2 speakers. We're going to have Meet Patel, who's going to talk about Firebase and building out applications between Firebase and Flutter. And we're going to have Tarzine Jackson, who's going to talk about prototypes and innovation and how to bring your visions to life. We have a few other housekeeping items that we posted on Discord. So please feel free to reach out to us on the Discord channel after the speakers. So thank you so much for coming, and we'll go ahead and get started with Meet.
Okay, yeah, sure. So hello everyone. Glad to see you all. Just 1 second. Okay. Is this visible?
Yes.
Okay. So I am Meet Patel from GDG Ahmedabad, and my base is in web development, app development, as well as in the machine learning, Flutter, and the Firebase. Glad to see you all. Now let's start with the Firebase. So basically, we are going to learn about real-time database in the Firebase. Let's me look in the Firebase. What is exactly it is and how will work. Try demo. So Firebase is basically a platform that can help. We are building an Android, iOS, or web application with a single code base. Nothing to various code base, and it is by Google. We can do authentication, cloud Firestone, real-time database, storage, hosting, cloud functions, machine learnings, as well as A/B testing, and much more.
Hi, Meet. Sorry to interrupt you. Your internet is.
I think his internet was bad, so he got removed from the call. When he comes back, if everyone can just switch off their camera for when he's talking, so it's just him with his camera on, so that allows him for the internet flow better. So just switch off your cameras, yeah, if you have it on right now.
Hey, Meet.
My mic is off.
No, it's we can hear you. Maybe
Now
it would be better if you switch off the video.
Okay. Now I am audible.
Yeah.
Yes, you can still share your screen.
Okay. Okay. So basically, Firebase is a platform from where we can develop web application, Android application, as well as iOS application with a single code base.
You're not sharing your screen, Meet.
I am sharing. 1 second. Let me check.
Yeah,
I
now
am
it's
visible now.
yeah, it's good now.
From the Firebase, we can do authentication, Cloud Firestone, real-time database, storage, hosting, cloud function, and much more functions with it. But today we are going to learn about real-time database of the Firebase. It is the Firebase real-time database is a cloud-hosted database. Data is stored as a JSON, synchronized real-time to every connected client. So mean every time any of client update their data in real time, synchronized Firebase update it quickly as possible. And today we are building app with a Flutter. For those who don't know about Flutter, let me introduce about it. Flutter is a framework, SDK, and UI development kit by Google. It is really awesome for building Android and iOS app in the Flutter, all about widgets, about if we build any buttons or everything in the application, all about widgets in the Flutter. And also one more thing, Flutter and Firebase is the best friends because both both of them from the Google, and it is easy to use and powerful to manage. Today we make our application with the 4 steps. First one, create a simple application base application. Second one, connect this app with the Firebase. Third one, install a package Firebase database. This package we will use to connect real-time database with the Firebase. And fourth one, jump to other code like retrieve data, delete data, and those all things. So let's start it. First, we will go into our studio. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Hello.
It's visible, Meet.
Yes, yes. My Android Studio is just starting. Android Studio visible? Yeah.
It's the Android Studio.
One
Yeah.
second. I'll put Android Studio. Okay.
I think Meet's internet connection has been tricky today. He dropped off from the call. Just give it another couple of minutes. He should be joining back.
Okay.
We apologize for the technical issues.
There you go.
For Flutter, you have to go flutter.io and install from it. It is very based some steps, but let me introduce. So here it is. Get started with Flutter, and from there we have to install just one SDK of it. Then after open Android Studio from new Flutter project, not a single project, new Flutter project, Flutter application for Flutter name, um, uh, real time database. Next, finish. Wait for creating the whole project. Can I audio properly? Yeah, any issue?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of breakage in voice. It might be because of the
Let
internet
me
connection.
let me check my Wi-Fi connection is okay, but I don't.
Your bandwidth, network bandwidth is pretty low, so I think you might have to reconnect to a more stronger network for your Wi-Fi.
Let me check one second.
Yeah, we could see your screen. It's just hard to hear. I think the audio is breaking up.
Okay.
It might be that you could also use the phone and then also use the internet just to share your screen. But we can see what you're doing.
So your voice is now I am audible.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, it's slightly better, Meet.
So same in all others case.
You're still cutting in and out. You can probably dial in using your phone in the same meeting ID and keep sharing your screen with your laptop.
Your voice is so lagging here.
Yeah, it's the same. It's coming very choppy from your end also. Um, Apologies, everyone. Give us a couple of minutes to fix this.
Will
Hey, Meet, you could try dialing in.
Now I am audible completely. Hello.
Yeah, it's better. Great.
Okay, sorry for disturbance. So here our main.dart file, our main file of the our Flutter application, and here is some basically default code. So we don't need it. So delete and start from the new code. So first of all, we have to import our material package, rep.material. Then call our main function, run app. My app. Then we have to create a stateless widget for our application's main screen. So simply write stateless and then press enter. My app, and here a container widget, the return statement, we don't need it, and just return a material app widget, material app. In this in the home section, we have to return another function, but before it we have to create a other file, other dart file, page dot dart, and here same things, import material package, and here we have to create a stateful widget and for it write stateful and then press enter. We have to name it is data, and here call the data function to retrieve this page. Import our page.dart file, and here it is return a container widget. We also don't need that. We have to return our state scaffold widget. Scaffold widget. Now in the app bar, title, text, my database app. So here some code is ready to use. Let's check it. Just waiting for 1-2 minutes. Now run our file. Oh, something error. Oh, semicolon. Just wait for it.
So Meet, right now you're showing the basics of creating the app in Flutter, correct?
Yes. Meanwhile, this loading, let's create our Flutter site, Firebase site, not Flutter.
And then you're connecting the Firebase to Flutter now.
Yeah.
Okay.
From your browser, just write.
And while he's doing that, everybody, in case you don't know, Firebase is the database that makes pretty much all of Google work. So if you see your phone synchronizing with your web browser for your email, for Gmail, for example, that's Firebase underneath it. If you see your app synchronizing with the website, that's Firebase underneath. So what he's showing is how you can take the data from any data source and turn it into JSON and then connect it to Flutter and start to build an app based on the data that you have.
Okay. Go to firebase.google.com. Now press on get started. My screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now we have to add our new project. Set our project name like Mac. I don't know why it is so lagging right now.
Okay, it looks like we're still losing your signal, Meet.
Yes,
We can't see your screen. It went black.
yes. But I don't know why it is.
So I think what we're gonna do, maybe we'll move to have Tarzine go into her speaking presentation and Q&A, and then we'll circle back and see if we can get you up and running.
Sure.
Okay. So
Don't know what it is.
and then we'll circle back to you as soon as Tarzine's speech is done. So I just want to introduce Tarzine, who is the founder and CEO of, and put my camera back on, who's the founder and CEO of Coalesce Designs, a socially conscious Black-owned, women-owned, and Black-led design and development firm. In addition to being a mythical griffin, she is a devoted mother and a lead with Women Who Code Silicon Valley chapter. And Tarzine also has created a new face mask, and she's made some diversity avatars, and she's going to tell you all about it. And thank you, Tarzine, for joining us, and welcome.
And thank you for having me. So hello, everyone, to the panel for inviting me here. And thank you for everybody who's watching. As Marie said, my name is Tarzine Jackson, and I am the founder and CEO of Coalesce Designs. So today I'm going to talk about innovation and how do you start a project for those who started as a group. And so we're going to start from basically value creation all the way to implementation. And I'm going to talk about the products that I created and how I got started. And so just in case you don't know the talking points, I got a whiteboard right here because I have a lot of whiteboards around the house.
Nice, old school.
So like again, I said, we're going to talk about value creation, and value creation has to deal with basically the research portion. So you have an idea, but you don't know how it's going to come into fruition. So you start with researching your idea because you want to make, sorry, my cat, she just woke up.
Love the cat.
I'm not playing with you right now, baby. But yeah, so I start off with research with anything to make sure that my idea is valid. So that's where the value creation comes in. And then we go into design thinking. It's design thinking has to deal with the thinking about the implications of that design. How is that design going to impact society? There's a lot of people who innovate, but not consider the repercussions of the innovation and how that affects society. So I encourage everyone to, once they're innovating, be innovative, but also be thoughtful with your design. Then we go into collaboration. Collaboration has to deal with collaborating with universities, with individuals. Sometimes the idea that you have in your head, and then others might have other opinion. The cat wants to be on. Hello, baby. And then we go into collaboration, collaborating with teammates, collaborating with co-workers, because you can't do it alone. There's no I in team. And then the last and the fourth one is implementation, that how to prototype. I think Meet was also talking about this in his presentation of prototyping with Flutter. So my background is a senior software engineer. And so I attack everything with design creative initiative, but also with an engineering background. And I guess I can start. I started a presentation on the case study of, well, before I walk you through the case study. So the case study that we're going to look at is the case study for the modular mask. And I'll give you a little summary about what the modular mask is and why did I create it. I noticed, like, in the beginning of the height of the pandemic, there was a lot of face masks, PPE, supplies that were short in demand, and nurses were going online and asking for help. And I was like, well, what can I do? And that's what started the initial idea for the modular mask. The modular mask is, I can kind of show you because I actually have the physical product. So it's a prototype mask, and it starts off with a chin strap, because a lot of I addressed all the issues that the nurses had, like with the earlobe fatigue and not having enough mask for the masses and being safety. So I addressed this with, I started off with a chin strap. And the reason why I started off with a chin strap, because to combat the earlobe fatigue. So it doesn't go around your ear, it goes around your head. And a lot of nurses were wearing that anyway. So, and this is also for individuals who might have autism or head sensitivity. So this one will go like around the back of your head instead of like around your ear. And then there will be an attachment of a couple of different face masks, and I call them mask caps because they're like the cap of the mask. And so these are actually interchangeable. So here's like one, and then here's the second. And so you just interchange them around, and then you can double them up with an additional face mask. And then you can also add on an eye shield that if you wanted to. So you can also add on an eye shield. So the reason why it's all in different pieces to, again, address the lack of resources. So if there were enough mask caps for individual mask caps, then that will hopefully, supply and demand that you can have one chin strap and you can wash it. And also the fabric, this is also a fabric face mask. And it is, and I know I'm going to butcher this, microbial, which means that it's basically self-cleaning. The materials I use were very, very, very important. So on the outer shell is actually organic hemp and organic cotton, which is a natural deterrent for bacteria, moisture. So there's a lot of health properties. And also this face mask is reusable. And so it doesn't, and we using natural resources, which is the natural fabric. And then inside the face mask, it's either, you have two options. If you have sensitive skin, I would get the organic, the silk and hemp. because most people who wear face masks, they get a lot of moisture, and that comes in and it starts face irritation. And so that's what I was looking at. The face mask has been around for like thousands of years, and it has never changed. So I wanted to bring something different to the table. And I had to make all these considerations, which is what I used was the value creation. How would this impact society? How would this help someone? That was my thought process in regards to componentizing the face mask first. The second one was design thinking, thinking about who would use it, how would they use it, is it beneficial, and and how and would I be addressing other issues? And so those are the things I wanted to focus on, because the face mask wasn't necessary. It's been around for years. So I didn't focus on what was right. I focused on all the things that was wrong that people were complaining about. Like with the earlobe fatigue and the mask not fitting, and then also the mask not fitting different faces. And that's another reason why I decided to do a chin strap, because it's actually adjustable. So you can actually adjust it to your face, and everything is completely separate. So you can buy them completely separate. So if you lose one piece, you don't have to buy a whole brand new mask. You just buy what you need. And so that addresses the lack of resources. And then on top of that, it's like for fuller faces or narrow face, it can be customized. So it can go wide. So it can go like wider out. Sorry, I have my glasses on and I can still see. So it goes wider out, or it can go very narrow. My daughter is about 13 and she can also have one of these on. And so it is that versatility that's really important. And again, I'll start going back to the actual material. And so this is silk inside. And like I said, silk and cotton for those faces. And it's the same thing here. And it does come in 2 colors and right now. And this one is for, this is my prototype. So this doesn't have the anti-fog vinyl, but you get the idea. So now if you read lips, you can be able to talk with an individual and still be safe. And it is Velcro inside, actually. It's like some really strong Velcro. So the Velcro is so you can also wash it and clean it. There's a nose bridge so you can pinch the nose to tighten it. And then if you need to clean it, or you got some, or it got messy or something, you can just take it off, throw this in the washer, and then wipe this down with some mild soap, and then put it right back on and start talking. And all you have to do is get individual mask caps, and you can get like 5 mask caps of, these are only 2 of the prototypes of what we have. So we have one without the valve, which I don't have. And this one is the valve, and this one is the mouth shield. And then also the eye shield also comes in the 2 different sizes. And also I wanted to talk about, like, because there was an issue, and I wrote an article, it's also on the website. If you go to themodularmask.com, I did an article about the front valve. Now on the N95 mask, I did have a prototype, but I think I threw it away because the cat got on it. But anyway, so the N95 mask, it does have a front valve. The front valve is actually, it should be illegal, because it actually, you can actually spit out particulates and absorb particulates. So it's not even safe. The reason why my mask is a little bit different is because I positioned the valve, and I'll talk about the actual valve because I know people were asking about that. So I positioned the valve above the nose and above the mouth. So when you talk directly into the mask, and that absorbs in the fabric. And when you breathe, it goes also into the fabric. And then if it does get to up here with the valve is actually very unique. And I'll go through the valve itself. So when you breathe, or if there's any particulates, they go through this little hole. And in this, you see there's copper. So there's a copper mesh. And this is the same copper mesh that they actually use in some laboratories. It actually kills the virus within 4 hours. And if it gets through that mesh, if it gets up to the hole, gets through the mesh, then you have a gasket. And up here, there's that gasket. And it's a rubber gasket. That's a one-way gasket. So it doesn't, you can't breathe in, but you can breathe out just as fine. And if it gets to that gasket, there's only 2 holes at the top, so air can come through and circulate. And also there's also this shield. So I know I went a little too far with these valves, but I wanted to make sure that you were absolutely safe. This is reusable. All you do is pop it out. It's a hole actually here. And you just pop it out and you can put this in a washer, wash this with mouth soap. And yeah, and that's about it in regards to the modular mask. And now I get into the case studies and what I actually, how I actually created it. And I'm just looking for the site right now. I think I might have to share the whole screen because I don't know where everything is. Hold on just a minute. Sorry about that. I have the Figma file up for everybody. And let's see, there we go. Let's share that. Okay, there we go. So here's the modular mask, and I will minimize that. And so this is the case study that I used to start the innovation. And it's like an overview of the project. What exactly is it? And I'm going to publish this and send links to everybody. So you, this is a lot of text. So I try to narrow down as much as possible. That's why I'm kind of paraphrasing through the talk. So these are the main challenges that we want to address. So the first challenge is people need a mask that fits properly. They needed it comfortable to wear for long periods of time. It's microbial that provides air filtration and can be replaced, cleaned, or exchanged. So the challenge 2 was a single-use plastic product that, oh, we're talking about the environment. Instead of, so let's see. So we were talking about single-use plastics to contribute about 60 to 95% of the global marine plastic pollution. With an increase of use of disposable masks, the new source of microplastic fibers are being introduced into the environment. So since COVID, we have had a huge impact in regards of disposable plastic and disposable masks. And so that's another reason, that's another reason why I wanted to address these issues. And then the third is, covering up a user's mouth presents accessibility issues for those who are hearing impaired or need to speak to someone else. And during our research, we found out that more men had hearing issues than women. And then I had to investigate a little bit that, so men in general they're in what we interviewed for, that they had color blindness higher than women, and also they had hearing issues more than women. And so if somebody who reads lips or communicates, this will be essential for them. They can still communicate. So the solution was the modular mask. It was reusable, it's adjustable to fit user faces properly, it's comfortable, can be worn long periods of time. I've worn the chin strap and I forgot it was completely on. It does protect both the wearer and people around them. It has, let's see, oh, it has the visible face shield, and that it's actually better for the environment. And then this can be, I forgot another component of it, is that there are little pockets on the side with Velcro that you can, if you wanted to add a reusable filter, you can put filters in the mask. So you can add to that protection also. Let's see, and then, so here's some of the case studies. And some of the case studies, we interviewed a number of healthcare workers, and we kind of compiled an archetype of, based off of general questions. So this is, I think this is like 10 healthcare workers, and we narrowed it down to one, and we called her Tiffany. And so Tiffany, she's a critical care nurse that works COVID-19 patients. She works long shifts, and she needed a PPE protection. And so these are the things that, this is the type of archetypes that I use to make sure I'm also on the right track. It's very good to have, most people use personas, but I use archetypes because they're behavioral, because we want to understand, like, is this product negative or is it positive? So having these archetypes is very important. And there's 3 that I use. And we go with Ben. He's a single parent, and, he has a child, and he feels frustrated that he has to go out with his child, concerned about cross-contamination, bringing it back home. And I know you heard stories about that, because children under 2 should not wear a face mask. But they can still get COVID, and they can still give it to the entire family. And so having something that's, that's not cross-contaminate might be helpful. Then we have our 3rd archetype, which is Norm. He's older and in a senior community, and he misses, he misses collaborating. He misses conversations with his friends, his colleagues, his loved ones. And we have to be aware that, because COVID with the lockdown, our senior community is really hurting because they yearn for that interaction. And so it's really important that we do mask up and wear the right type of face mask to help these individuals. And like, again, I already went through the problems. And so I'm just going to go through these slides. And then if anybody has any questions, I am more than happy to answer. And so these are just some of the common problems, which I talked about the environment and our carbon footprint. I talked about, like, it was very painful to wear. Here's pictures of nurses that had like bruises from their personal protection face mask. And then, and then also being safe about people, individuals around them, and also about accessibility. And again, common problems with the vowels, and also understanding your user. Children don't like wearing face masks. So I also developed a solution for that also, that we're still doing research and case studies on, and physical prototyping. And then this is actually where it started. It started from a drawing, and it went to a paper prototype. So here's the other drawings that I started with. I ended up nixing that because that was a lot. And then it went to a paper prototype, which is the physical prototype. So it went from a drawing to a physical paper prototype. And then here's iteration number 2. This is when I'm about to make the fabric prototype. So this is actually, I had to create a pattern. And then here's the final prototype, which is what I was showing you earlier. I did file for a patent on my design. And so I filed that in October the 28th. So it is a patent pending product. And that's it. Again, if anybody has any questions, I am more than happy to answer.
It's late. It's Friday. It's okay. So, in terms of advice in terms of moving forward your prototype, what would you recommend in terms of mindset? I know a lot of people say just dive in, do it, don't be afraid. How do you get over the mental humps of going from one stage to another?
How do I go to?
How do you get over the mental hump of going from one stage to another?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was really hard because for me, it was like, am I doing the right thing? And then the problem was so big that I was like, am I addressing everything? You always second guess yourself. And that's why, like one of these, like I'll bring out this. So collaboration is key. So while you're doing your value creation, which is basically you have this great idea and you like, oh yeah, I want to save the world. You're like innovator with a cape, and you have this great idea and you're trying to push on to the next level, but then you get stuck. Am I doing the right thing? Is this enough? Is this what people need? Or should I just toss it? Is it going to cost me too much money? Collaborating, that is going to help you get over some of those hurdles and get yourself out of your head sometimes, or take a walk or do something else. It's innovating is hard. I like, having ideas is sometimes it comes easy, but then following it through that process, there was multiple times I wanted to give up. It was like so many times I wanted to give up. But my 13-year-old like, mommy, you can do it. And I'm like, okay, if the 13-year-old can say I can do it, I need to, pony up. And then when my mom has severe asthma, so she can't go outside. The space mask possibly can help her. And so I was just thinking about the possibilities of how many people I can help. And I had to get out of my own head. And sometimes you need other people around you to help you get out of your own head.
Yeah, that makes sense. And in terms of, I think some people, sometimes they think you're either analytical or you're creative, right? What do you see as the difference in the balance between the two when it comes to making prototypes and innovating?
Definitely you start with the creative because you have to, because how many people would want to componentize a face mask? You definitely have to be creative. You have to be daring. I think this is where, when you're innovative, it's like a free-for-all. You just like, okay, you think you have this idea. So you have this idea and you're drawing it, you sketch it out. I don't care if it's like stick figures. It doesn't make any difference. You don't have to be an artist to innovate, but you have to have a good idea. Like, again, the creation value. You have, if you're going to innovate, like, obviously you're solving a problem. Nobody just innovates for no particular reason whatsoever. You're always trying to solve a problem. And sometimes you have to focus on that, but definitely you're creative. But when you start getting into prototyping, that's when it starts getting real. And I'm not the best at documenting every single thing. And that's the most thing I hated. And reading research papers, I hated that. Those are the things that I hated. And that's another thing, like if you collaborate with somebody who likes reading research papers, then you got it made. You can be creative as you want, and then you guys work off of each other. But unfortunately, I had to do everything a lot by myself. So it was a lot harder and I struggled. It looks easy now. I made it look easy, but there's some times I wanted to just crawl in the fetal position and just like give up. Like, I've already put money and time in it. You better suck it up. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. And what advice would you give people who want to design and invent new things for a living? How do you get started? Like, you just get out of school. How do you get started? Where do you go to learn things?
That's a great question. I would think like if it depends on what you want to innovate. When I start innovating, for me, I'm technically, well, no, I'm actually called an inventor because I filed 2 patents. So I'm technically an inventor.
You are an inventor, not even technically.
Yeah, like it's kind of, I still can't wrap my head around it. Because I think I just made a product and yay, I get to move on to the next one. But people like, oh, you're an inventor. Like, who? And I look around, I was like, oh, they're talking to me. And so it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. But back to your question. Oh boy, hold on. Like I even lost my train of thought. So your question was again?
If you come out of school,
okay,
like how do you get started? Like where do you learn more about innovating and inventing and that sort of thing?
If you come out of school, I would say intern. If you can find a mentor, find an intern or an internship that is in a creative space. And if you can't find that, then try to solve a problem. Because then you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. If you solve a problem that's a big enough problem for a larger market, you can actually make money off of it, and then you can do inventing. But it like you have 2 avenues that you can go to. Like a creative house, like for me, I had like 2 or 3 interns, and they learned so much. It was just funny. Like they wrote one of my interns wrote me this letter, and I almost was in tears. And she sent me macaroons, and I was just like, oh my God, I didn't know how much of an impact I made. And I think I don't realize as a mentor of how impactful I can be to other individuals. But yeah, I would say, again, back to the question, because I tend to deviate. That's another thing with an inventor and a creative person, you're always going. So you got to edit yourself. Again, so if you just got out of school, I would look for an internship and I would look for a mentor. And why I'm on the subject about mentor, I kind of broke mentorship up in 3 levels. There's an advisor, there's a mentor, and there's a sponsor. And I'll explain it real quickly which one you should have and how many you should have.
Yeah, what does that mean? What do those 3 mean for newbies?
Okay, so what does that mean is like, so an advisor is somebody who gives you advice. So if you want to quantify that into like time and you, I would say like an advisor is somebody like, oh, I give you advice. Oh, you need this link? I'll send you to this person, or you can contact this person, or I'll give you a link. That's what advisory have. I would have like 10 advisory people, because these are people that you can go to, and don't necessarily have somebody in your same field, because people can give you great ideas from any field. So I would have somebody that's in your targeted field and a couple people that is not in your targeted field, but for you. Then a mentor is somebody who would have that one-on-one, like maybe an hour a week or like a couple times a month, that you have that one-on-one interaction. And a mentor will walk you to the door, but the mentor won't walk you in. So they'll give you advice, they'll give you that one-on-one, they'll give you feedback, and that's great. So that's in the borderline of between mentor and coach. A sponsor is somebody who is invested in your career, invested into your future. So they won't only give you advice, walk you to the door, but they'll also sit with you at the table. And I would get one person that's basically your advocate, your sponsor. And I would have that person. I would at least have one. So again, you would have one sponsor, maybe 1 or 2 mentors and maybe 5 to 10 advisors. And that's how you build your network. And again, it's about collaboration, because you get to bounce ideas off of maybe like, hey, I have somebody who's an advisory. I'm doing research. I don't know anything about design. How do I do a persona? Let's see, I'll send you a link. Then you have to read it yourself, yes, but at least you have that resource. Or if you had a mentor like, hey, I need to bounce off ideas. Can we schedule a one-on-one for half an hour? And you have a bullet point list and you read off that list. They give you the ideas, they talk you through it, and then you come off feeling, yay, I feel relieved, I feel validated. Then you have a sponsor. They'll do that one-on-one with you, break down that idea, and then help you get to the next level. And those are how I categorize mentorship.
Yeah, that's really great. So you're saying, build a full ecosystem and make sure you have that to rely on as your career grows. That's great advice.
Yes.
Are there any other questions from anyone in the audience?
I just wanted to say that I really appreciate Arzine for coming in and sharing her experiences with everybody. And I'm sure everybody has learned a great deal regarding how to innovate and not get caught up into just the flow of it, but actually deliver. So really appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, no problem. Again, if you have questions later on, you're more than free to connect with me on LinkedIn, send me an email, but make sure, for me, I'm like, because I'm so busy, I like have a bullet point list, know what questions you want answered, because I don't know about your project, and sometimes I don't have a lot of time, but I do want to always help those individuals who are stuck and they just need somebody to maybe validate their idea.
Sounds great. Well, it looks like we're still having technical difficulties with Meet. But if you have any links, Tarzan, you want to share with the group, let us know. And Meet will work with you to share your presentation offline, and see how we can get a video recorded as well. And thank you so much for speaking with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. And again, thank you for having me. And you guys are our future, so innovate.
We need you. If you can't tell.
We do.
Yeah, we need all brains and thinking and all that stuff. I just want to share a couple things since we have a little bit of time. One is, if you really want to look at how to work on your pitch, there's a link in the materials for today. There's actually 2 links. There's a shorter one and a longer one. And it's called, let's see, there are 2 of them. One's called A Talk About Talking, Making a Memorable Presentation, which is from Google Developers Group, and a video pitch, Perfecting Your Pitch. Both of those are really great about how to tell stories and how to sort of tell the story of what you went through in the hackathon, how to model your data, visualize your data, and put it together in such a way that you really have an amazing opportunity to show off what you've done and the work you've been working on. So make sure you check those out if you get some time. Highly recommended. And then, of course, we're on the Discord ready to support. And Darshana or Joyce or any of the Mac team, you have anything else you would like to share?
One last thing I just wanted to add, in terms of some of the things that are going to happen tomorrow, of course, we are going to share that on Discord also. 8 a.m., if you all could just share a quick summary. Marie has listed out some pointers that you can use to put through that summary. What essentially that would help is for judges to prep and know what to expect out of each team. And given the short time that they would be judging, it's better they have some heads up information about each project. And tomorrow we'll have some speaker session followed by presentation and price distribution, all together between 2 and 5. So hope to see you guys there tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
We are giving you back some time today. Thank you all for attending. Thank you for the speakers to come and join us today. We all will share Meet's recording as soon as we receive that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Bye.